Okay, so picture the scene. It's a Monday morning. I'm playing games with my son. Life's good. I have nothing on this week at all apart from making some videos. And then bang, I've got 2 gigs and a radio session booked in. And that all came together within about 12 hours. Let's get into it. Coffee. This episode is sponsored by Quantum Coffee Roasters. It's not sponsored, I wish it was. Like I say, Monday was the usual. Monday, I was playing with Miles in the morning. We were having some fun and games. And then in the night, I had I got football planned as I usually do. So I went to play football with the boys. As I arrived to football, I get a text off the artist Shelly Ann. She's also a friend of mine anyway, really. Played with her a couple of times before. And as I was arriving at football, I got the text just asking if I could perform with her on BBC Radio Wales on the Wednesday night. It was already the end of Monday. Like, I play football, it's 8 o'clock kick-off, so I was there literally 5 to 8, and I got the text, so I was really conscious of time when she asked. She had mentioned it before, but nothing was confirmed and nailed in yet, because we were trying to sort out what instruments she was actually going to have on the session, and it turned out to just be me and her. It was 2 songs. I had Tuesday, give or take, and then I had most of Wednesday anyway. But it was one original song by Shelly Ann, which is called Bad Lovin' Blues, and The Story by Brandi Carlile. That was the cover that we performed. At some point then, on Tuesday, I think it was like the afternoon, and I was playing with Miles again. I got offered a Friday gig in Swansea, and then I got an offer for an acoustic gig on Saturday in Cardiff. The Friday was in the Swig in Swansea, which actually completely unrelated band, but I've been asked to play the Swig again now this Sunday. Again, last minute, so it sort of ties in with the story. So basically I just asked them for a set list. At a glance, I was like, yeah, no problem. Just accepted the gigs. It's actually one of my favourite things to do, is to just accept all sorts of work. To be fair, I rarely get stuff that's not worth me doing. Usually if people ask me, it seems to be worth doing anyway, so like I wouldn't always say yes to things. You've got to know if it's worth it for you, really. There's been other things that I've done that might not have been worth it that have led to things like this, so it does work. It does work in mysterious ways. So my week was, all of a sudden, it was jam-packed. I had to do 2 gigs, 1 radio show, and I had to film a YouTube video at some point. And obviously I've got a son, so it was all very much up in the air. But so I'll start with the Wednesday. We had the radio session in BBC Radio Wales. In the day, I actually came here and I shot my video. I finished filming that, and then I had like an hour maybe to go over the songs. So Bad Lovin' Blues is like this, kind of like a 12 bar, but it definitely had more to it than a 12 bar blues. Quite a big production. It had horns, it had keys and stuff. So I had to try and make that translate on just the acoustic. Put some of the performance here so you can get an idea of what it was like.
You gotta let me know if you want me to. Won't you come around? Gotta make a move. Stop you hanging around. No time to lose. I can't hide it. Man, I got to spit love and blues.
And I'll also put a link in the description if you want to listen to the whole rest of the interview. Worth learning about Shelly Ann. She's a great artist. She's got a new song out, come out Valentine's Day, so check that out as well. Then I drove over to the BBC Radio Wales building, which is actually opposite the train station in Cardiff. I pulled into the car parking and there was a problem. Basically, there'd been some miscommunication. They didn't have me on the parking list, so I couldn't park there basically. Parked next to the Principality in an NCP. Walked over, it was a nice day, but I headed in. It took maybe another 20 minutes to get my security pass and sorted. We had to go through security, go through my bags and things. And then I met up with Shelly Ann.
Well, it's not a photo of this.
Oh, it's video.
There we are, we can have.
We then met up with the radio show host, Bronwyn, who I haven't seen for years and years. She is awesome. For anyone that doesn't know, you should get to know Bronwyn Lewis. She's an amazing singer and artist in her own right, and she got her own radio show now on BBC Radio Wales. You know, in Wales. If you haven't heard of her, then you're probably living under a rock. She got us all situated, and she got us a cup of tea each, and then we just chilled. We went through the mic setup and everything. We had a quick sound check just to make sure it sounded okay. And then Bron started prepping for her show, and we just chilled outside and had a couple of, bits of rehearsals. We were playing an hour into the show. Then we played the second song after a little bit more interview time, and that was The Story by Brandi Carlile. I wasn't familiar with that song. It is a belter, and Shelly Ann smashed it. Beautiful song. Brandi Carlile's voice is amazing. Yeah, it was a good experience. So I got that done, left the BBC building, and headed home. It was a really nice moment actually, because my phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up with family and friends just messaging me saying they were listening, and it sounded amazing. And I didn't actually use the headphones in there because it was acoustic and I could hear Shelley. I just wanted it to be, I didn't want anything to sort of put me off. I just left it as it was. I trusted in the sound that I had, and they were happy with the sound that they could hear. So I was just, okay, cool. I won't bother with headphones. I'll just, hear it and feel it in the room. So I didn't actually know what it sounded like. But on the family and friends thing, it was extra special because Leah and her parents, they kept Miles up a little bit later so he could listen to me on the radio. So that was pretty special for me. But yeah, so I got that done, and you can listen to the full thing below if you want. I listened to it on the car on the way home because it immediately goes up on BBC Sounds. I was kind of like, it just doesn't sound like me. And that's why I really didn't want to hear the headphones, because it just sounded so polished and so great. They were all using, I think, Neumann TLM 103s. I don't know, I couldn't believe it was me in a way. But it was just, yeah, it was a very well oiled machine there, to say the least. Next up was the Friday gig in the Swig. And I've never been there before. Looked really cool when I arrived. The staff really helpful. Got a set up on the stage. I played with some of the band members before, Theo the bassist and Dale the drummer. The singer I'd never played with before, and some of the songs that I usually do with Theo and Dale were different because of that. Yeah, like I mentioned, I hadn't met the singer before, but everyone raves about her, and she was actually really lush when I met her. Did the gig, it was amazing. We had fun. I mean, there wasn't that many people there, but we had a great time. On the Saturday, I'm actually playing that acoustic gig with Hannah. So it was a good time to sort of go over anything that we needed to go over in terms of gear or song-wise. It was a pretty straightforward one. We just got in, got out, drove home, obviously just the usual, and then I haven't really got any footage from the gig itself. There's a little story from their social media of just me aimlessly soloing again as usual. Yeah, it was a good night. Then on Saturday, woke up, played with Miles as per. Had a look over some of the songs that we had and agreed with, and the usual stuff for just getting ready for a gig, making sure I got everything. And I wanted to try and travel light for this one because it's in the centre of Cardiff. We were playing in Heidi's bar, which I've never been to before, and it was amazing. And it was very busy. And we were playing 7 till 9. Just after the rugby. Yeah, we played straight after the rugby, and it was England versus Wales, and Wales lost a very tight game right at the end. Yeah, it was a weird vibe because there was people chanting for England and Wales. Obviously, loads of students come to Cardiff, so it was just half and half really, but it seemed like everyone was still happy afterwards. They actually provided us with a desk, and we just literally turned it on, got some levels, and left it. It sounded okay, and to be fair, I wasn't too worried about the sound or anything like that because it was just kind of like a sing-along in a way, sort of a party atmosphere. It was very much a party atmosphere, so it was just about playing the songs and making sure everyone enjoyed. I do have some footage, I'll pop it up for you now. Finished up and went home. I mean, I was home a lot earlier than I usually am, so it was great. It was only a 7 till 9 performance, so I was home and I was happy, and that was my weekend then. Done. So to sum it all up, I used to be quite useless in terms of getting myself out there professionally, and I probably wasted a few years of my professional life just being scared of what could happen. There's a great quote from a book that I'm reading at the minute. The quote is, I'm going to read it because I've got it behind me. No man ever achieved worthwhile success who did not at any time or other find himself with at least 1 foot hanging well over the brink of failure. It's Napoleon Hill who said that. That spoke to me so much. Like I was achieving relative success in my own head, in my own little world. Really, I wasn't pushing myself at all. I'd stay well within my safe boundaries. Until I got out of my comfort zone, that's when really things started to kick on for me. Like this, I mean, this is really out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it because I like doing the videos, but I'd always worry about what people would think, and now I don't care. I just like doing it. I've had a shift in perspective really. My family are what matters to me the most. If this provides me any sort of success or anything at all, then great. But this gives me, because I'm a full-time musician, gives me a chance to sort of give me another outlet creatively. Because sometimes doing these gigs, it like, as much as music is great and it's an amazing job, it still feels like work sometimes. This is just a great creative outlet to keep me on my toes really. My tip is to be ready. Situations are a perfect storm of when preparation meets opportunity, and if you're not there for that opportunity, then you'll never know. Anyway, does anybody have any story of opportunity or anything that they've experienced in the past that they'd like to share? If you do, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about them. And as always, if you could give the video a like and obviously subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get obviously the subscribers up so I can get some more content out there. Hopefully be making more videos, and yeah, obviously if you want to comment, please do. But in the meantime, take care and all the best.